Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Monday night, not football, but the huddle. It's a special edition of the huddle this evening. We're trying to take the huddle to a new level. And one of the ways that I've decided to take the huddle to a new level is to be able to start looking at some different software and piece of streaming equipment that will make it more efficient and add more value to you as the viewer watching and enjoying the huddle. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Stream Deck, that which I've purchased, and we're going to test it out live. And so in the chat, I want your feedback, and maybe if you have a Stream Deck yourself, share in the chat your experience with it. That will help me shorten my learning curve in using the Stream Deck. And we're going to talk about that right now on the huddle. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, then we want to welcome you to the show. As we said in the opening, this is a special edition, Monday night of the huddle with your boy, Walter Strong. We're going to be testing out and using now going forward the Stream Deck, which will help us to be a little more efficient and have a better flow of our live streams. And as I was putting this live stream together, I said, I want to do this live so as individuals come on and as you see me testing out the Stream Deck, if you want to provide some feedback on your experience on the Stream Deck, what type of Stream Deck you have, we'll allow you to do that. And wanted you just to be a part of this journey. I'm going to do this for about 30 minutes. That it will be a learning experience for the next person who sees this live stream, because I believe it's important that you pay it forward what others pay unto you. And so I've brought a coach tonight to kind of help me. He's going to be my shooting coach, just as we see Stephen Curry do all the marvelous things on the coach. Did you know Stephen Curry has a shooting coach? Well, I brought me a shooting coach tonight to help us with the Stream Deck, especially when we got to share different layouts of, one person on screen, two people on screen. And so I've decided to call on a good fellow creator of the name of Tech Troublemaker, who's going to be joining us this evening here on the huddle. So let me just bring him on and add him to the stream. And he's certainly no stranger, but for those of you who are getting to meet Tech Troublemaker for the first time, hey, my brother, kind of let them know about you and your channel and what you're up to.
Well, I may not be a stranger, but I'm definitely strange. So anyway, I'm just your friendly neighborhood tech troublemaker. I have my own channel here on YouTube. And of course, if you've seen the episode with Walter and I together, well, he's been on my show and I've, of course, been on his show before. And so just an awesome guy. So I'm like, when he said, hey, can you come, let's go play around the Stream Deck. Yes, pick me. So my channel is about tech tutorials. I do, right now I've been doing a long series on YouTube tutorials on how to do different things. So kind of like what Walter's doing here on his channel as well. So I don't think we're competing. We've been mixing up topics. So far, so good, right? But yeah. And, I have a Stream Deck. I've had a Stream Deck for quite some time. I have tried to do my show without one for a long time, and that was not fun. And now the Stream Deck really makes it easy. So yeah, this was a great upgrade. You picked a good device to go with.
Well, hey, that's what it's all about, taking it to the next level. If you're watching us on YouTube, let us know. If you're part of Team Live, in the chat where you're watching us from. And most importantly, Team Replay. Man, I love you people. Love you guys so much in the community, because when the stream ends, that doesn't mean the content stops, because it continues to be circulated and suggested and recommended. And just seeing the views of people watching the replay lets me know that we are doing a good thing and adding value to others. So let us know in the chat already. We have our first participant on Team Live tonight, Mr. Real Chicago. What's up, my man? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing, Robert? So we're gonna get into this what I call not a tutorial, Roy, but a learning curve. This is gonna be the first of many learning curves that we do on live. So I'm used to using and doing streamed live streams with my mouse and my keyboard. So this is going to be some good practice tonight where I'm going to use more of the Stream Deck. So
I know
for
we
those,
just
go ahead.
keep switching scenes out, messing people's heads. Okay, here's scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. You know, we'll just keep changing it up. So figure out what's next.
So before I go ahead and pull up the first the slide of what the Stream Deck looks in front of the person using it, what was your anticipation of using it the first time when you were getting ready to go live?
So I use so I'm a Mac user as far as my live streams go. I am in the daytime. I'm a Windows user. At night, I'm a Mac user. And I use Ecamm as my streaming software. It works with OBS too, so it works with about there. In fact, you can use it with Walter. You hadn't even looked at it yet, but you can use it with like DaVinci. I don't know what your video editing software is, but you can use it with so many different software packages. So it literally will give you shortcuts for lots of different programs. But for me, I learned how to do scenes inside Ecamm. And I was doing it the hard way where I literally had to scroll through a list of scenes. And then after I got the Stream Deck, I was able to just hit a button and go to a particular scene. So for example, I've got the middle button is always set for my presentation mode. So if I'm doing a presentation during an episode, I make sure the middle button is always for me, the presentation. So that way, if I suddenly go a little brain dead, I can just hit that button. And then I take the very first row of my Stream Deck and I put myself in 3 different camera angles or kind of different scenes. And then the second row for me, I use that for my interviews so that I go back and forth between different scenes that have my guests in it. And then I'll take like the 4th row and I'll mix that up. So, and then my last row, I'll use that for my go live button and maybe my outro. So there's quick and easy to get to. And that's how you figure out real quick. I wish I had more buttons.
Okay. And we're going to get into more of that. So here's my first question, Coach. So you're the coach tonight. You're my shooting coach. So what I did was when I spotlighted you, I took my mouse, went over to the 3 dots hovering above where you're at, and I spotlighted you. And so when I go to look to the Stream Deck, I said, okay, I see how they have the first key that shows the individual by themselves. You can be side to side and you can be in the position we're in now. But then when I need to spotlight you, I take the mouse, I click on the 3 dots.
Right.
On the Stream Deck, does it allow me to, in the process of where we're at now, without me clicking on the 3 dots, how do I spotlight you?
So Streamlabs will let you do keyboard shortcuts for various things. And so if you can set up a keyboard shortcut for the spotlight feature and then program that to a button, then it will do that for you.
Okay. So I have to have Streamlabs, but if I don't have Streamlabs.
No. Well, yeah, StreamYard. I meant to say StreamYard. I apologize. Okay. StreamYard, what you're streaming with now. So with StreamYard, if you can do a keyboard shortcut for it, anything you can do a keyboard shortcut for, you can put on your Stream Deck. There's too many streams in this stream, so we'll have to slow down myself here. But yeah.
Okay, so if I tap the one by myself, that's me. Right. But now, if I want you individually, I got to bring you back up and say, as we're doing this live. I'm pushing the button. As if for those of you who like the movie Rush Hour with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, there's a scene in the movie where the bomb is around the girl and the bad guys threaten them to blow the young girl up, and Chris Tucker says, push the button. And the little girl says, yeah, push the button. I'm pushing the button, y'all. I'm sorry for those. I know that was bad. Well, I see. That's the next thing. We're gonna get sound effects. We're gonna womp 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 womp.
Yeah, so you can load sound effects on yours too. And then the other cool thing is that the Stream Deck comes with a bunch of built-in sounds. and you can
Oh.
for free, part of having that the Stream Deck, and so you can go and program those to buttons as well, so that you
Okay.
can go and hit it. And it also has a page feature.
Mhm.
So one way to kind of simulate having more than one, having a larger Stream Deck, is that you can program a button to be a page button to go through like one page of commands and then a
Mhm.
second page commands. That's a little fancier than I've gotten with it, but it is an option. I have thought about doing it a couple times when I knew I needed 3 more buttons. So
Mhm.
it's
Oh,
just got a lot of,
it's a lot here. It's a lot, and that's why I said,
Mhm.
instead of doing this unlisted or private, I said, let me just go ahead and make this public because there's going to be someone like me, and there's going to be someone like you, and those of you who are in the chat who may use the Stream Deck for a few minutes and say and have questions like these, and Roy, I went through about maybe 7 to 10 videos. They were all good, just
Yeah,
to kind of get some basic understanding.
right.
But I said, there are no what I call learning curve. Everyone does tutorials, but what
it
about a
does have a
learning
learning
curve?
curve. Is there like a page somewhere on the StreamYard site that has like the keyboard shortcuts for all the functionality?
They are, but in a future learning curve video, we will learn to find out where they are. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and pull up what the Stream Deck pad looks like. So I'm using my button as I go ahead and to pull up our slide. All right. So we are now. So one of the things I'm finding is you can pull up and share a slide by pushing the Stream Deck, but at the same time, Roy, I notice I still have to kind of use my mouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, once you get to enough buttons, once you get your buttons programmed, like for example, I don't use the camera button and I don't use the mute button on mine,
Mm-hmm.
so that I can use those 2 buttons for something else.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, so you're eliminating some of the basic things like the
I
mic
am.
and
You
okay.
can reprogram every one of these buttons. You do not have to keep them, anything that came with it. You can ditch all of that and make it any way you want.
Okay. So this is going to be this is going to probably be a future learning curve we're going to need to do. If
Yes.
if your schedule permits to be a shirting curve. But I just want to kind of show our viewers this is what I'm working with. And this is correct me if I'm wrong, Roy, this is the 15 key one, right?
This is a 15 key one. Yes, sir.
Right. So it shows us, the layout by myself, shows a layout side by side. You got the square, and then if you got, two to three or more, you got the go live in the corner there. And so on mine, I have the go live to be able to start the broadcast, which I started the broadcast with the mouse, but I have the ability to end the broadcast, but I have to hit go live. So I can see the value in what you're saying. If I don't want to mute
Yeah.
myself or mute my video, I can create a new key and just have it just for the end of broadcast, basically.
Yeah, and I usually don't use the go live button either on the I usually reprogram the go live button as well, because I don't mind. I'm going to hit the mouse to do the go live. I'm fine
Okay.
with that. And then if I need to mute, I have a button on my microphone that makes it possible for me to mute it right here.
Okay.
So I'm always like, what can I do to eliminate so I can use those buttons? Because as you already found out, 15 doesn't feel like enough buttons.
Right. As a beginner, I'm like, when you see it on Amazon or wherever you're looking at and buying it, you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be sufficient. And me being a novelist in using the Stream Deck, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm running out of buttons already? Something. This is a weird feeling. Let me know in the chat your first time using the Stream Deck. Did you hashtag not enough? Did you feel like you didn't have enough when you were using the Stream Deck for the first time? Let me know in the chat. Hashtag not enough here. Let me know that a brother's not alone here. But so that's a good point. Being able to reprogram it and the things that you just regularly and I do kind of like using my mouse to go live and to end broadcast. So that's something I am going to consider. Okay, so we have from there to go live, and then what we're doing right now is sharing the presentation if you're by yourself or you got your individual. Now I see this next one they have here in the middle, where I guess it's the person's inside the slide presentation, right? Which would probably be the third one, and then you
Yeah,
have.
if
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, does StreamYard have some way to kind of put you in front of your presentation?
What, picture in picture?
Yes. Is that what that's doing right there? 'Cause that's, I guess that's picture in picture.
Okay, so
You should hit that button. Let's find out
let's
what it
test it
is.
and see what it says. No, it's not doing anything. So maybe one of the things that I have to do is go into the hotkeys when we're off air to make sure the hotkey is set for the picture in picture.
Now you can reprogram these while you're live.
Oh, you can't.
You can, yeah.
See,
Click
brother Fred.
on,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
click on this, click on it on the screen there, and on the middle button, and let's see what the middle button shows down below is what it's programmed for.
Oh, that's the middle button. Okay, I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
let's do the middle button. If this is true, you're right.
Yes.
So this is basically.
Well, it wasn't what I expected. I expected let you to touch the programming while you were live. So here we
Exactly.
go.
All right. So it has me in a position where I'm down at the bottom, and it's kind of giving the presentation more of front and center, which is
cool.
which
That's
is cool and everything. But just kind of go back here. And right now I'm cheating, y'all. I should be using the Stream Deck, but I noticed when I press. Now, one of the things you had said to me in the green room, there are times when you have to press the button. You have to press kind of hard. Now, is that a manufacturer thing, or is just?
I think it's the sensitivity on the buttons, and maybe you just touching the corners, not the same as hitting it dead center in the middle. And I think sometimes we just don't hit it dead center, and that's what happens. But yeah, sometimes I have to press a little harder. Hey, and not a lot of force. It's just sometimes I'll tap a button and maybe I didn't hit it quite enough. And it didn't engage. I have to hit it a second time.
Okay. So then
So it does happen sometimes.
All right. And so we have a legend here who's checking out our first learning curve live stream. Of course, we got Mr. Real Chicago, but I wanted to bring up the myth, the man, the legend. Do I got the comments up? Okay, there we go. There we go. We have the legend, Mr. James Hicks from the West Coast. So we appreciate you joining this learning curve tutorial. And Mr. Hicks says it'll be nice to have the 32. I'm feeling you, James. I just got this thing maybe 2 weeks ago. It took me a week to set it up. I reached out to a fellow content creator, Ken, the content coach, and he was able to kind of walk me through and setting it up. You were just so busy, James, with all your multiple shows. I didn't want to put no added pressure in reaching out to you, but you would have said to me immediately, Walter, you got a 15? You need to send that back and go get a 32. And I'm feeling you, because a 32 is good with 15 keys, since you can be able to have multiple pages.
Yes.
And see, that's why I wanted to have this learning curve, because James, when I was watching some different videos, just trying to get familiar with the Stream Deck, I'm the type of person, I know you got to present the polished, finished product of how something works, but I want to see you struggle with this. I want to be able to identify with someone that says, oh yeah, I had that same question. And it becomes a great learning tool to see that I'm not by myself. But it's something that I'm learning, that of course, when I clear it with the wife and the daughter, I may end up having to give me a 32, but it's just something that I'm learning here. Give me 1 second, and I'm cheating, folks. I'm cheating. I'm using.
But like he's talking about, it has a page feature, so you can do multiple pages of those buttons, and you just have to set one of your buttons up to change pages.
Okay.
So if you see that at the bottom, it's got that number 1 with the plus sign beside it. That's where you can set up multiple pages.
Oh, okay.
So that is one way around the limitation of number of buttons. But usually I think, oh, I can get by with these 15. And then sometimes I have a stream, like I talked about over the weekend. I did a stream. I needed 3 more buttons. I really should have programmed some pages, but I was having to create scenes on the fly because the run of show we had planned, that wasn't what we were doing. So I was suddenly like, okay, I've got to improvise. And so it's like, oh, anyway, but yeah, I love the Stream Deck. It's awesome. So
Now, have you found in using a Mac versus me being Windows and PC, is there a different learning curve in using the Stream Deck versus the type of live stream softwares we use? Whereas you and James use Ecamm, I use StreamYard. Is there a slightly different learning curve? And if the answer is yes, how difficult is it versus using StreamYard to Ecamm?
I would say it's probably, well, so because you're using a web-based streaming app, there's probably some limitations on keyboard shortcuts.
Okay.
And so usually other stream, if you have a full, like a streaming package that you install onto the computer, usually a lot of the keyboard shortcuts have already been set up. And so when you get the Stream Deck, it's like, oh, well, I already know about the shortcuts you have, because the community out there builds these scenes for you, the ones that you kind of start off with as a template. And then after you've had it a while, you'll start making your own scenes. And the thing I like about it is that, there's icons out there you can download and insert in. You can actually go to the Stream Deck page and like create and customize all the buttons if you want to. I don't bother, because on mine, after I use a scene one time, it picks up a picture of that scene for me. I assume it would do that with StreamYard too, once you use it a little bit more and get more, focused on trying to customize it more. If I can share, well, I can either share. Yeah, I can share my screen, maybe.
Yes.
Let's see what happens. Actually, I'm gonna change cameras on you.
Okay.
Hold tight. And maybe make it full screen. So here I'm gonna. All right. So here is my Stream Deck. Let's see how that turned out on the scene here. Okay. Yep. There you go. So here's my Stream Deck, and you'll notice after I use a scene, it will add pictures to everything. Hang on, let me break this out of its bondage so I can lift it up and get it closer to the camera. Unfortunately, the webcam is not that cool. But after I use a scene just one time, it will take the video and store it in those spots for me, so I can recognize them very quickly. And so I love that about it. And I can just really, just real quick change scenes here. The fact that I can go, just really quick change scenes out. It's really good. So that's what I love about the Stream Deck. And that, so I don't ever create custom images for those, because it kind of adopts what you use. Once you do a scene with it, it picks up and puts the scene in the windows of preview, kind of like a thumbnail. So, so yeah, it's very cool. I love that about it. And so it's a great device for my live streams. I wouldn't want to do a live stream without it now, because I use it. But the other thing that the Stream Deck does is that if you've got video editing software, you can program your shortcut keys to the Stream Deck. Now, a lot of community out there will probably have already created a template for you for your particular program, and you just go out to their Ecamm shop and pick up the template and load it in on the Stream Deck for you.
Real Chicago says, I love this, but I got to run. Hey, appreciate you checking out, this live learning curve. That's what I want to call this, because I just feel like there's going to be, whether if it's Stream Deck, the Rodecaster Pro, or some other type of software, where you search different videos that people may make, but you kind of see the finished product and everything, how everything works. But maybe to have a video where you can see someone actually playing with it and learning it on live, and they can go, oh, okay, and it maybe can provide value. Now, someone may say at the end of the day, this was good and nice, but I'm good. But I just, if it was just for one person, I figured, hey, look. But as we've been doing this, I've been, navigating, the different sections of being able to put you in by yourself, bring me on by myself, back on with you, or without me constantly using the mouse. What else did I want to cover? So we basically went over different scenes. Let's pull.
Then the other thing you might want to
Go
look
ahead.
at is you want to look at the Stream Deck store, and that's where
Okay.
you'll see. And even though it says store, most of the stuff there is free.
Okay.
There's lots of plugins for different applications you have, and also there's a section of sounds where, like I said, you can go download lots of royalty-free sounds from Elgato and use it in your live streams. Totally free, doesn't cost anything. You bought the software when it came with the Stream Deck, so you get the sounds for free. And if you do multiple pages, then you can program those sounds to the keys, and then applause, whatever the sound may be that you want to play. And yeah, it works. It's great.
Now, would I be able to do that same thing if I'm using Epidemic Sound, which I pay for
Yes,
royalty
you
free,
can. You
and
can
be
take
able to then take, let's say I want a sound effect of applause, and then
Yep.
I just download the sound effect. I can put that right into the Stream Deck?
You sure can. Yep. You just
Okay.
You just go to sounds and you point. It's a little horn icon, and you tell it what song you want to play, and then you hit that button. And then you may want to put a label on that so you can see what the name of the song is, so you can remember. That's why I try to be consistent in what I program buttons for, so that if something crazy happens on the stream, I know which buttons are my set buttons, because so if I lose my place or if something throws me off, I still know where the buttons are. I can hit the right button and go where I need to for the next scene. So it's very cool. So.
Now, from time to time, I've seen you do live interviews on your channel. Have you done live interviews where, let's say, if multiple individuals in having to use your Stream Deck, and how has that experience been for you?
So yes, so I will set up scenes if I know they're going to be there. Of course, I have set up scenes on the fly, but I'll program it onto my Stream Deck, and I'll create a button. So if I've got 2 people or 3 people, I'll create a scene for 2 people or 3 people, and I've already pre-dragged the cameras to the different locations in my scene, and so I'll change back and forth. And so yeah, so here's interview mode that I used Saturday. When I was doing a live stream, so there's nobody. Lala's not there right now, but just these are scenes that I have set up on my Stream Deck that I already have set up for having interviews and that type of thing. And you can do the same thing with StreamYard. I mean, keep saying Streamlab, but I mean StreamYard. Sorry.
Hey, look, this video is not, this live stream is not sponsored by StreamYard, but we truly appreciate the different benefits it provides. So it is an easy use web-based browser.
It is
that you can use for your live stream. And so if you're thinking about being able to take your live stream to the next level, if you are a PC user and you are not Anakin Skywalker like James Hicks in the chat, and my man Tech Troublemaker, who are Mac people, who may the force be with you, then there is a link in the description, and you can be able to use StreamYard. Okay, so check.
StreamYard is nice. I actually was in the beta for StreamYard. It was just one day on Instagram they reached out to me. It was very strange. I don't know why, but reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to be in the beta. And I said sure, and so I did do the beta. And I do have, I had a free license, which at the time I thought, oh, this is great. They gave me a free license. Of course, now they give away the free license, and so you can start off with StreamYard. You really should give it a try if you don't have any streaming software. StreamYard is great. It does have lots of cool functionality, and you may decide later you want to pay for it so you can add more of your own lower thirds and other fancy stuff and overlays and all that. And it has all that capability built in. And then also it does have the capability, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that you can multi-stream. So you could go to YouTube and Facebook at the same time without having to go get restream. You can do that with StreamYard. So
right, and I believe that's with the paid version of the basic basic plan.
Yeah,
Right.
you get like 3 channels you can go to at the same time. So
right.
Yeah, it's
so
very
I mean,
cool.
For me, the basic has sort of similar, just like using the Stream Deck. I know the Pro version allows you to do multiple past 3. I think our next platform that we're looking to possibly to start streaming to is going to be LinkedIn Live. That is something we're looking at doing, because
Very
right
cool.
now we're just doing YouTube, but I think LinkedIn Live will be the next logical step for us in terms of multi-streaming, for us to do that. And so that fits right within the basic plan. I think with the free plan, you can only just stream to one platform, which
I
is
think that's true.
fine
Yeah.
for a beginner, someone starting out. But it's definitely good. So
Yeah. I only
that
want to blow up on one platform at a time. I don't have time to blow up on multiples at once.
I agree. I think when you do multi streaming to multiple platforms, you're at a point where you're established.
Hmm.
I believe you should be, especially if you're starting to see some growth on your YouTube channel. Because what I found when I started in the beginning of doing multi streaming, it was the fact that I was splitting my audience, especially if I'm
Yeah.
trying to bring them over to YouTube, because each person that subscribes to my YouTube channel, they're saying, I really value your content and I really value what the channel is bringing. So I consider an extreme privilege to get a new subscriber. But when you splitting your streams like that, and I'm quite sure how difficult it
Yeah.
is to try to bring someone from Facebook to YouTube. Facebook is going to do their best to keep that individual on their platform. They want them to watch all their Facebook lives. They're not trying to get them to. I mean,
Yeah.
let's call it for what it is. And that once I learned that, I was like, okay, I appreciate the feature of multi streaming, but I see the difficulty. And even Daryl Eves, I saw an
Hmm.
interview, he spoke on that. And when I heard Daryl Eves say that, I said, oh, this is a no-brainer. I'm not going to be multi-streaming anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not. When and if I do, it's going to because I'm going to be on LinkedIn Live. There is a set audience. When I share my live streams before I go live, I do share it on LinkedIn, so I get a positive response from people on LinkedIn Live. So I've built enough of an audience there that they've come from LinkedIn Live to YouTube. And so to be able to provide that, I think that's when you want to look to multi-stream. But this is our first episode of the live stream learning curve here on the Huddle. So, Coach, I appreciate you taking time in this. I wanted to keep this about at 30 minutes. Before we go, kind of let us know what you're doing and what you got planned over this week and next week, so that we can let the Huddle community know and where they can find you and join you.
Well, on YouTube, just look for Tech Troublemaker. That's all one word, and you'll find me because I am a troublemaker. And so this week, due to some family stuff, I am not going live. I know that's weird. On Tuesday night, usually every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I go live. This week, I'll be releasing a recorded video during my same time frame, but otherwise, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, you'll find me out there. And coming up here in a few short weeks, I have to look at the calendar because I can't keep up with days. But on the 24th, I am excited. Heather Just Create is going to be on my channel. We're going to talk about what's involved in vlogging on YouTube and basically how to get started with vlogging and then some lessons learned along the way. And so that's going to be a great show. So if you are thinking about vlogging or if you are already a vlogger and you want to just learn some more, that's going to be a great night. So I'm pretty excited about that. And also my YouTube series, I'm going to be digging deeper into YouTube statistics, kind of breaking them out one by one. So I got some videos coming up, but yeah, that's the one I'm most excited about, is when Heather's going to come onto the show.
All right. Perfect. We will definitely be tuning in to that great content that you're going to be putting out, because certainly we can learn from one another. And I appreciate those of you who will be watching the replay. I realize that this is going to be a live stream that's kind of focusing more specific on the product, Team Replay. But if you are a person who has a Stream Deck and you kind of need some help, or just some, we've answered maybe one or two questions this evening. Hopefully it's added value to you. But if you know someone who has a Stream Deck and they're kind of having some challenges, I got individuals like my man James Hicks, and tech troublemaker who can I know you're like, Roy, why do I it naturally flowed. Even my wife and daughter said to me, they was like, why do you do that? It's just spontaneous. And I like it just came part of the flow. So
I
I
like it.
mean no harm.
I like it. I was gonna get you to start opening my show that way for me. I just like record a snippet of that for me.
Hey, sir, let me know when, and I'll gladly do it to help you out. You are now watching the Tech Troublemaker show. So that's it for this Monday night huddle learning curve live stream. Here with your boy Walter Strong and my man Tech Troublemaker Roy. And if you haven't had an opportunity yet to subscribe to this channel and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income, we want you to be able to subscribe to the channel so we can add value to you. So what I'm going to do, I'm cheating a little. I'm cueing my intro music, and then we're going to use this StreamYard to see what we're doing here.
Bye.
Yeah, right. Okay, there we go.
Hit that like button.
Well, I wanted to cue my music first, so I was hitting the button to cue the music because I was looking. I was like, this is another reason why I can see the 32 playing a great value, because I'm like, you mean I can't use the Stream Deck to be able to end the broadcast for the music? I'm like, okay. But hey, that's it for this show. I'm gonna talk to Roy in the green room. We will see you next week, Saturday, on the Huddle.